Friends, Dr. Deshmukh here, and I am going to give series of presentation on GLP. Today, I am going to talk to you about OECD principles of GLP. The introduction and fundamentals of GLP I am going to cover in today's presentation. The birth of GLP, how GLP was evolved in early 1970s. The FDA investigated number of cases of poor practice in toxicology laboratories throughout the USA. The result of this investigation in about 40 laboratories revealed many cases of badly managed studies, poor training of personnel, and some cases of deliberate fraud. FDA investigation findings were enormous. However, for our knowledge, I have covered few for your information. Poorly trained study directors and study personnel, poorly designed study plans, that is protocols we call it, and protocols were there, but they were not followed. Standard operating procedures were not there, or if at all it is there, and the procedures were not conducted as per prescribed procedure. Raw data badly collected, not correctly identified, without traceability, not verified or approved by a responsible person. Lack of standardized procedures and poor animal husbandry. Further to this, inadequate characterization of test items and test systems, inadequate resources, equipments not properly calibrated, reports not sufficiently verified, not reflecting actual raw data, archiving inadequate. So what FDA decided that we should have a regulation to cover non-clinical safety studies. That is called Good Laboratory Practice. It was evolved in 1976, and the draft was ready for these regulations, but it was enforced in US in 1979. So what are the GLP principles? So main goal of GLP was to obtain results which are reliable, repeatable, auditable, and recognized by scientists worldwide. These are main important goals of GLP principles. The GLP principle further to this stresses on the purpose is not to assess the intrinsic scientific value of a study. GLP principles are a set of organizational requirements. Important difference between science of a study and the organization of study. So, GLP aim was to promote recognition of study data. Whatever study data we generate, it should be accepted in all international frontiers across the world, across the globe. As I told you that GLP is not looking into the science of the study, but they are concerned where for managerial concept of the organization of the studies. So there is a difference between organization of study and science of study. GLP has a definite definition, and it is defined as defined condition under which studies are planned, performed, recorded, reported, archived, monitored. So there are 5 basic points which are very important as far as GLP is concerned. That is resources. What are these resources? That means there should be personnel, trained personnel available. There should be adequate facilities, and whatever equipments we are using for conducting the study should be calibrated and maintained. GLP is governed by rules. What are these rules? Rules are OECD GLP guidelines are available. We should use it. You must have standard operating procedures for all the activities conducted in your facility, and you should conduct the study as per your study plan or protocol. The third basic point is characterization. As I told you, there was problem in test article identification. No proper documentation was available. So they emphasize on test article identification and quality of the test systems. And that also has to be characterized. In GLP, we call it give lots of paper. That is documentation. Documentation is very, very important. The raw data, final report has to be documented properly and it should be archived in your facility. Finally, the fifth basic point is quality assurance. And quality assurance, they will audit or inspect your study over there. They will act as a police and their job is policing. So you must respect them in that manner. And their additional job is to train all the study personnel for GLP principles in the facility. How the OECD functions. There are 30 member industrial countries, including all EU countries. USA and Japan are also the signatories of the OECD, and they function as an international agency. Their state representatives have ambassador status. That is what it's all about. So OECD principles are agreed by all 30 member countries over there, and all have to accept the validity of studies performed in compliance with OECD GLP principles. So under the MAD treaty, that is known as MAD agreement, they have to accept the data conducted in OECD GLP recognized laboratories all over the world. The OECD consensus document, there are a number of consensus documents available in OECD GLP. However, for our information, I have selected few for your information because these are very important documents. Quality assurance, laboratory suppliers, field studies, study directors' responsibilities, that very important as far as we are all concerned because we conduct the studies. Computerized systems, every now and then we use computerized computers for our data analysis. So there is a document number 17, which will highlight how to use the computers, how to validate computers for that matter. And responsibilities of sponsor. It is not that test facility alone is responsible for conducting the studies. There are definite responsibilities on the shoulders of sponsors. They also have equal responsibilities. And last one was the short-term studies. Whatever short-term studies we conduct, there is a separate document on that. Thank you all. Any questions, please ask on my email ID, Pradeep Deshmukh 1949@gmail.com.